Thank goodness that we're okay. You would have seen the news in the UK this morning and the news all over Europe. Spain was hit by a devastating storm the last couple of days. The first night we had a lot of thunder and lightning, but luckily we didn't have the rains that some parts of Spain have had from all the way down to Malaga. And there's a big part of the Valencian region has been absolutely hammered by the rains, which is devastated, and there are around about 51 people so far that have been confirmed as missing or presumed dead. There are a lot more people that are still, you can see where the water's been coming down this way actually. Let's walk up here, get off the mud. There's still people missing in the Valencian region, which is deeply upsetting for everyone involved. And the fact that, you'll see the pictures that are coming up now, I mean, there were streets turned into not just rivers, but raging torrents of water, cars getting dragged about all over the place. And it's just devastating. It will devastate the lives of hundreds and thousands of people, over the next couple of weeks. And there was one video that we saw where there was a bridge got washed away, and unfortunately there was an actual car on the bridge at the time, which you have to think, oh my goodness. And then the water just shows you the power of the water, the fact that it was just picking cars up that were all parked in a row and just washing them down streets, lifting them up and taking them away. But thankfully we are okay. Thankfully we're okay, and thankfully that we kind of missed it, because where we stay back in 2019, that area got hit pretty bad. But they are saying that this is a lot worse than the storm in 2019. The fact it's hit a wider area, and there's so many deaths, which is devastating, absolutely devastating. There's been a lot of mud being washed about in this park. It just makes you think how lucky you are when something like that happens. And I just thought I would take a walk this morning. I am down in Guardamar to get Ginny's medication. I just thought I'd have a walk around this park, just to think about what happened and how lucky we've been. The thing is, when you see the skies today, there's hardly a cloud in the sky. You see the sun up through the trees. It is unbelievable to think just what was going on yesterday. I mean, we were getting absolutely battered by winds yesterday. Oh, the birds. Even the birds are still hiding for cover. But when you think about the power of nature, it makes you think how really irrelevant we are in the wide scheme of things. Because I mean, we just spend a short time on this planet as human beings, and as people, our lives can be just washed away like that. And I think that you have to think yourself lucky. You do have to think yourself lucky. Just the fact that you were born and that you were alive. Because the power that this stuff has. I mean, that's nice and tame and a nice little waterfall. But the power that water has is unbelievable. And we all like to look at it and we all think it's all nice and pretty, but you know, it can devastate lives. And it does make you wonder. It makes you think about mortality, really, and how short your life is. And I think it just shows you that you need to live every day. You need to live every day like it's your last, because you never know what could happen. People in their cars getting washed away yesterday, and people having to get rescued by helicopters, all because of the power of water. And it's nice coming to these parks and watching the ducks, watching the peacocks in their natural habitat. But I think we can all be thankful today that we are safe, and think about the ones that aren't. Think about the ones whose properties have been damaged. Think about the ones whose cars have disappeared. Think about the ones whose lives have been lost. And ultimately, there's going to be a lot of mourning going on in Spain in the next week or so, once the full toll of the damage can be assessed. Because let's face it, although the sun is shining today, not far from us, the place is absolutely in ruins. It is good being all at one with nature, as they say. But is nature really all at one with us? Mother Nature has far more power. I could go on a real rant here, especially when you look at politics and you look at things that are going on around the world. It does put life into perspective, puts it in real perspective. I just wish that people would just get along a bit better. Politics, greed and power is always the one thing that ultimately starts conflicts around the world. We'll be diplomatic and call them conflicts, but it's always the working man that suffers. It's fodder, cannon fodder they call it, isn't it? Anyway, so I hope this video finds you all well today. Bit of a different video. I was actually thinking about going up to the areas that were affected, but I think that would be in bad taste now that we've found out that there has been so many people passed away in the storms, so I don't think I will. I feel a bit like David Attenborough now. Go on, show us your feathers.